Hello and welcome to America's Pastime with Michael McKenzie. I'm your host, Michael McKenzie. Today, it's Sunday, so we got a Sunday night baseball game tonight. This is an announcement early in the podcast just to get you guys notified that I will, at 8 o'clock, tune into my YouTube channel, Michael's Baseballs. If you're listening on my YouTube channel, make sure you're here at 8 o'clock. I will be doing a live stream of Sunday Night Baseball. The Dodgers are taking on the Mets in a Sunday Night Baseball showdown in Queens. So let's get on to the podcast now. It's August, so we passed the trade deadline, but trades still can happen. August trades, here's how they work. Players have to clear revocable trade waivers to be able to be traded. Teams can place claims on a player, but the teams owning the player at that certain point, they will have to be awarding the rights of that player to the other team. If not, then if they clear revocable trade waivers, then the trade will have to be made. We've had a couple of those trades happen, clearing revocable trade waivers. Sean Rodriguez has returned to the Pittsburgh Pirates, and you can't script it up much better than what happened earlier today. The Pirates tied 4-4. They went into the 12th inning. He comes up, leads off the 12th. How do you script it much better than him just hitting a walk-off bomb? He just completely destroyed the baseball. I mean, you can't really script it up much better than they did right there. Yonder Alonso earlier today was traded from the Athletics to the Mariners, so the Mariners are clearly going to try to make their push. They are making their push, at least for the postseason in the AL wildcard, which is very tight. We'll be getting into playoff races close. And then on the same day, the Pirates made a flurry of moves, the Rodriguez deal, and then they claimed George Contos off waivers from the Giants. The Giants awarded the rights to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, let's go on to some of the playoff races. We'll go to the scoreboard for the day first. There are 0 game. Actually, there might be one game going on. Yes, there is. So the game going on is a second of a doubleheader between the Mariners and the Royals in Kansas City. The Royals leading 5-1 in that game. At bottom of the 8th in Los Angeles, the Athletics have a narrow 11-10 lead on the Angels. The Angels have 2 on, runners on second and third, and 2 out in the bottom of the 8th. Dodgers-Mets, as I mentioned, a live stream coming later today. As I mentioned, Pirates beat the Padres 5-4 on a Sean Rodriguez walk-off home run. The Rays beat the Brewers 2-1 on a Steven Souza walk-off home run. The Yankees dominated the Indians as Aaron Judge homered. He's starting to break out of his second half slump. The Yankees won 8-1. The Cardinals destroyed the Reds 13-4. What helped out was a grand slam by Jose Martinez. The Sox versus Sox matchup, it goes to the Red Sox on a Sunday game, 6-3. The Orioles defeat the Detroit Tigers 12-3. With the help of a 4-hit game by Manny Machado. The Marlins defeated the Braves 4-1. The Twins narrow it out against the Twins, make a huge comeback and narrow it out with a win 6-5. So they got a huge comeback win that was capped off, which was saved by a throw home that got Shin-Soo Choo, who would have been the tying run late in the game. The Astros defeated the Blue Jays 7-6 on a close one. Actually, a walk-off single by the Houston Astros. In the first of the doubleheader, the Mariners defeated the Royals 8-7 in a close one. The Cubs and Nationals squared off in the rubber match, 9-4. Nationals took it, a beatdown in Wrigley. You don't see that very often. The Phillies beat the Rockies 3-2 on a close game in Colorado. The Giants beat the Diamondbacks 6-3. That's your MLB scoreboard update. Let's go to some standings for an update. In the NL East, the Nationals are running away with the division, 13-game leading the division with a 13-game lead over the Marlins in second. In third, the Braves. In fourth, the Mets. And then in last place, the Cellar Dwellers in the East, the Phillies. In the NL West, the Dodgers are running away with that division with a 15-game lead on the Rockies. Behind the Rockies, a half game, are the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are down 15.5 to the Dodgers. The Padres are in fourth, down 29 games, and then the San Francisco Giants are in last place there, 35.5 out. In the NL Central, the Cubs have a narrow half-game lead over the Milwaukee Brewers. Both Cubs and Brewers lost today. The Cardinals and Pirates took wins, pulling them a game closer. The Cardinals are 3.5 out. The Pirates are 4.5 out. And then Cincinnati, the only team who's really not in it in the NL Central, they're back 13.5. Check out some AL standings in the AL East. The Red Sox have a 3-game lead on the Yankees, both Red Sox and Yankees taking wins today. The Rays are in third place, down 5.5 to the Red Sox. The Orioles are 7.5 out in fourth place, and then the Blue Jays are 10.5 out in fifth place. In the AL Central, the race is heating up. The Indians have a 3-game lead on the Royals. The Royals are down 3. In third is Minnesota, down 6. In fourth is Detroit, down 8.5. And then the White Sox are down 18. So just a clear-cut loser in that division. In the AL West, the Astros are running away with the division, 14.5 up on Seattle, who is in second place. The Angels are in third place, down 16. The Rangers are in fourth place, down 18. And the Athletics are down in fifth place with 22 games back of the Astros. So, those are some updates. And with the postseason nearing, some really good teams. The Pirates are trying to make a push, but the Cardinals are in their way, who I think could definitely be a threat at this point. They took 2 out of 3 from Cincinnati, but they really expected that. But you really expected them to take at least 2 out of 3 from a struggling Reds team. The Pirates, they're going to try to make a push, but they have lost 5 of their last 6 series, still managing to stay in it, down 4.5. The Brewers and Cubs are really dueling it out in the NL Central. So that's going to be the top division to watch, the NL Central. The American League in the East, the Yankees and Red Sox, a classic rivalry. Every year it seems like these two teams are going to be the two teams who end up with the division. They're going to be the two teams that are going to end up with the division. They're going to be in a close late-season battle for it, and we have that yet again in 2017. In the AL Central, the Royals, they had back-to-back World Series appearances in 2014 and 2015. They lost in 2014. They won in 2015. And in 2016, they really weren't a good team there. The Indians won the division. In second place was the Tigers, who were actually making up a fight. They haven't made up a fight here today, this year, for the division. So that gives the Royals a chance to pull together. And this year, they definitely pulled together. Made one move at the deadline to get Melky Cabrera. That really hasn't been a huge effect as of lately, but you still gotta look at the positives. He's definitely got a lot of potential to be a good player in this postseason run for the Royals. It would run for maybe the division. Take a look at the wild card standings in the National League. It's really not close. The Colorado, the only place where it's close is who hosts the wild card game. The Rockies right now are going to host it over the Diamondbacks. They have a half-game lead on them. The Brewers are 5 out. The Cardinals are 8 out. The Pirates are 9 out. And the Marlins are 10 out. Those are really the only teams who possibly could make a contended run for the wild card race. And in the American League, it's much, much more interesting. The only team who's really out of it is the White Sox. They're 15 out. Maybe you can count Oakland out, 8 out, but really from that point on, it's a close one. Right now, the Yankees have a 2.5 game lead hosting the wild card over a tie between the Royals and Rays. Following that is the Mariners, half out. The Orioles, Angels are 2 out. The Twins are 3 out. The Rangers are 4 out. The Blue Jays are 5 out. The Tigers are 5.5 out. So a really close wild card race in the American League, one to definitely keep an eye on. So really, there's a little bit of maybe doubt that they could not make really a run, but it's definitely one of the better wild card races. It seems like we always see a good wild card race out of the American League where all the teams are still in it. Then maybe there are about 3 teams in the 6 teams in the National League wild card race. I mean, that seems like it is. It seems like it is every year. If you don't agree, okay, tell me. But is it just me? I just really think that this American League wild card is always something to watch, and that always the National League wild card, it's really not close. It's only between the few teams that are in it. But some years, but every other year, it's really a close, good wild card race to watch. Last year it was interesting with the Pirates, Marlins, Cardinals, Giants, and Mets all in the possible wild card hunt. Who did get it, though, was the Mets hosting the Giants. Both of those teams have collapsed massively this year. There are only 2 teams who are really in contention to do anything that were in the wild card race last year: the Pirates and the Cardinals. Seems like Cardinals always on top of the Pirates, and that it always seems like that. Not complaining or anything, but not saying that it's bad, but it's just seems like it's that all the time. It always is. I would really like to see one point where maybe there's a new surprise team. I mean, this year we had a lot of surprise teams, but next year I would like to see a team like the Padres or maybe the Athletics be in the playoff hunt. I mean, that would be really fun to watch. But, I can't control what happens in the race for the playoffs. But I'm just saying that would be really fun to watch. If you agree, tell me. But, there's really always the surprise team. This year, it's the Rockies. Maybe the Rays, they're definitely a surprise team. But next year, there could be a surprise team. So the playoff hunt is going to be close to watch this year. Pay close attention to the AL wild card. Pay close attention to the AL East, AL Central, and NL Central. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of America's Pastime with Michael McKenzie. Don't forget to tune in to the Mets Dodgers Sunday Night Baseball live stream. But until then, good night.